Okay folks, this week's is the anniversary of the Matewan Massacre that occurred in Matewan, West Virginia in Mingoh County. I wanted to reshare this video I shot 2 or 3 years ago, I guess, because I've been meaning to shoot a new one up there and haven't got to it yet. But anyway, this one we do stop and look at the bullet holes from the Matewan Massacre, so it's well worth watching, even though it dates back to my Blair Witch Project filming days. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this look at it. I'll get another updated one in the future, but it's really cool to see where the Matewan Massacre, or the Battle of Matewan as it's sometimes called, actually occurred. And it's kind of cool to see it in the time frame of year when this thing actually happened. So hope you guys enjoy it. This thing's been viewed a couple 100,000 times in the past on the old Appalachian Project channel, so hopefully you guys will still enjoy it, even though it's not the best quality, but none of my stuff is really. Who am I kidding? Let's look at Matewan. Shane Simmons, the Appalachian Project, getting ready to cross over from Pike County, Kentucky into Matewan, West Virginia in Mingoh County. And if you'll notice, to the right and left there is a large flood wall. Matewan has been plagued with flooding historically. So that was built. Williamson has something very similar to try to prevent and reduce some of that from happening, because it has wiped these towns out when it comes through. Matewan may sound familiar, has several historical significant events that have happened here. The Hatfield-McCoy Feud, a lot of it took place in Matewan, and also the mine wars, the West Virginia mine wars. Part of that, the Matewan Massacre, took place where I'm just about to drive. So as you pull down through here, right along these railroad tracks is the scene of the Matewan Massacre, where agents from the Baldwin-Felts Detective Agency, which were working in conjunction with the coal companies, met up with the local law enforcement here, and they had a shootout. And there's actually a movie made about that, and named Matewan. It's actually a great movie, good one to watch, to give you a little more insight into how life was back in the day. Getting out of my car, I'm not even going to charge you for this. I'm going to show you where there's still some bullet holes in the building. But I'll date back to the Matewan Massacre again, where it just took place along the railroad tracks, as those detectives were basically paid by the coal companies to enforce the law here, and the local law enforcement clashed. A major event that shaped the history, especially of Union activity in West Virginia. Another thing to notice about this street, which is now would be considered a back street, it actually was the front street. Back in those days, normally your main building, part of the building, would be facing the railroad track. But now, as you'll see in just a second, we'll drive down what is the new main street. There's several markers. This one has the Battle of Matewan. A lot of information about that. Up here on the right, there is a little road sign about the Matewan Massacre. You can see right there. I'm sure you can't read it. And just in front of me here is the former Matewan National Bank. It's actually BB&T now. And this is very well preserved downtown. Somewhat looks like Bramwell's downtown area. Here is where they have the West Virginia Mine Wars Museum. And I actually got a chance to look at it today. All kinds of great history there. I highly recommend a trip to Matewan for multiple reasons. One's the mining history is just unbelievable, and also that, as again, Hatfield-McCoy, there's no way you can do it all in one day. There's so much to see and do if you're interested in those things. To the right here is the newest building in town, and it's the UMWA Hall. And this thing is amazing that they still have a participation of 800 members. The union has really dried up most other places, but it is still very wildly popular, and this whole town is a tribute to the UMWA and union activity. I really love this art drawings on the wall down through here. It really captures the coal mining history. And again, here's the backside of the flood wall. So you can see this thing was major expense, but it had to be built to save this town. Up ahead's the City Hall here. It's one of the newer buildings in town as well. There's a lot of activity, ATV, again, the Hatfield-McCoy Trail. A lot of people like to go and read about that and see some of the locations where that took place. And just a must-see stop along the back roads of Appalachia. There's a door to the flood wall right there. It does not. Now, just on a typical day like this, you'd have a hard time believing how bad it floods. I actually walked over there and looked down on the Tug River, and it just looks as calm as a kitten, but we all know that can be deceiving, and when rain starts picking up, there's no defense for it around here. We'll head back out of town. Not even the single wide trailer here is jacked up, several feet off the ground. Straight ahead is the old Matewan Railroad Depot. It was moved, I've been told, from its original location, but it is located right here along the road, and it is another great place to stop and get a little bit of the history of the railroad activity, which is part of the mining as well. We'll head back out of town. I'll try to capture a little bit of the back streets now, our former front streets. There's the water tank up on the hill. And of course, as soon as I zoom in on it, it disappears, but and there again is what used to be the front street, now the back street. Again, Matewan, West Virginia, Mingoh County, a must-see. They give great tours at the museum, and it's just a really good place to come check it out. And if you like our videos, please think about subscribing. It really helps us a lot, and we really greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch our videos. And hopefully have a great day, and I'll see you on the next go-round.